The 1965 no-mint mark Jefferson Nickel stands as a remarkable example of numismatic history, not merely because of its age, but due to the circumstances of its creation. Its role during a pivotal time in U.S. coinage history, and the significant market value it can command today, up to $5,500 for rare high-grade specimens. The Jefferson Nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and featured a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his home, Monticello, on the reverse. Designed by Felix Schloeg, this iconic coin continued through many decades, but the 1965 issue is particularly notable due to major changes in U.S. coinage laws and minting procedures during that period. In response to a nationwide coin shortage and the rising price of silver, Congress passed the Coinage Act of 1965, removing silver from dimes and quarters and prohibiting the use of mint marks on coins. From 1965 to 1967 to discourage hoarding and speculation. As a result, all Jefferson Nickels from 1965 have no mint mark, regardless of whether they were struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. This intentional omission contributes to the mystique and desirability of the 1965 nickel, particularly among collectors who value pieces from transitional eras or those reflecting unique historical contexts. What makes the 1965 Jefferson Nickel especially compelling is its composition and design continuity during a time of upheaval. Unlike dimes and quarters, the nickel retained its 75% copper and 25% nickel composition. Despite its humble appearance and circulation status, certain examples of the 1965 nickel stand out due to exceptional minting quality, rare errors, and pristine preservation. Full steps examples where the steps on Monticello are completely struck and fully visibly are especially rare for this year due to worn dies and mass production. They can fetch premium prices at auction. A well-preserved 1965 nickel with sharp detail, no damage, and vibrant luster can sell for thousands, especially if graded MS66 or higher by professional coin grading services like PCGS or NGC. In recent years, auction houses and private collectors have paid between $3,000 and $5,500 for gem-quality specimens, reflecting both increasing demand and dwindling supply. These coins are highly coveted because few survive the wear and tear of circulation with such clarity and sharpness. Another element that adds to the coin's allure is the sheer number of coins. Struck over 1.6 billion nickels were minted in 1,965, yet finding one in uncirculated condition with full steps remains incredibly difficult. This paradox common coin, rare perfection, fuels the enthusiasm among collectors and investors. Additionally, the 1965 nickel occasionally appears with striking anomalies such as off-center strikes, die clashes, and double dies. These minting errors make each example a unique artifact, and in the right conditions, such pieces have commanded prices well beyond the standard $5,500 valuation. The numismatic community often regards transitional coins, like the 1965 nickel, as historically symbolic. They reflect broader economic, political, and industrial shifts that changed the way the U.S. Mint produced coins. The mint mark moratorium, the shift away from silver, and the high-volume output all demonstrate the coin's role in adapting to the demands of a rapidly evolving economy. From a design perspective, the 1965 nickel continued Felix Schloeg's classic aesthetic with slight refinements made in previous years to improve clarity and strike definition. Jefferson's profile remains stoic and dignified, and Monticello on the reverse is stately and symmetrical, though prone to weak strikes, especially during this high-output year. This makes fully struck coins all the more desirable for new collectors. The 1965 nickel serves as an accessible gateway into the world of numismatics, while for advanced enthusiasts it presents the exciting challenge of locating high-grade or error examples. Beyond financial value, the 1965 Jefferson Nickel holds cultural and historical value as a relic of a transitional period when the U.S. Mint was under pressure to maintain coin production. Despite metal shortages, public hoarding, and rising costs. As such, owning a well-preserved 1965 Nickel is akin to holding a piece of the economic history of the United States. When evaluating a 1965 nickel for potential value, several factors should be considered. First and foremost is condition coins, with no wear, sharp detail, and brilliant surfaces will always command the highest premiums. Collectors often look for coins that exhibit full steps, a term used to describe the visibility of all six steps on Monticello's base, a detail often lost during mass production. Secondly, errors such as double die obverses or reverse off-center strikes and die breaks enhance a coin's desirability and price significantly. Authentication and grading by a reputable company is essential to achieving top dollar at auction, as collectors are willing to pay more for professionally certified examples. Historical auction records show strong market performance for top-grade specimens. And as numismatic interest continues to grow globally, the value of these coins is expected to appreciate further. In summary, the 1965 no-mint mark Jefferson Nickel may seem like an ordinary coin at first glance, but its historical significance, hidden rarity, and potential value of up to $5,500 make it an extraordinary piece for collectors and investors alike. Whether you're drawn by the coin's role in mid-20th century monetary reform, its connection to Jeffersonian iconography, or the challenge of finding a pristine full-step specimen, the 1965 nickel offers a rewarding experience. In a world where millions of coins circulate every day unnoticed, the few that stand out because of history, rarity, and condition are worth much more than face value. They're worth remembering, collecting, and preserving. Next up, the 1970s Jefferson Nickel holds a fascinating place in American numismatic history, especially when evaluated through the lens of rarity, mintage details, composition, and collector demand. Minted at the San Francisco Mint in Bering. The S-Mint mark, this particular issue belongs to the iconic Jefferson Nickel series. First introduced in 1938 to honor the third President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson. Designed by sculptor Felix Schlag, the obverse of the coin features a left-facing portrait of Jefferson, while the reverse showcases his historic home, Monticello. The 1970s edition is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, with a standard weight of 5 grams and a diameter of 21.2 millimeters. While this year was not initially considered a standout in terms of rarity, a closer examination by collectors and specialists has revealed subtle die varieties, grade examples, and mint errors that significantly increase the coin's value, with some specimens reaching a current market value of up to $4,400 depending on condition and grading. Particularly, full steps FS designations, where every stair step on Monticello is clearly visibly a tremendous premium to the value, especially when graded by top-tier certification services like PCGS or NGCA, major reason behind the value. Of the 1970s, nickel is its striking precision in minting and the lower population of high-grade full steps examples. Full steps nickels from San Francisco in the 1970s are especially scarce, as most of the coins struck during this era show weakness in strike detail on the Monticello steps. The demand for these full steps coins has pushed values to several $1,000 at auction, particularly for coins graded MS66 or higher. In a few rare cases, collectors have even discovered proof-like finishes in business strike coins from this year, which have achieved record auction results due to their luster and sharp details. Additionally, mint errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, and improperly annealed planchettes from this year have also been documented, further boosting collector interest and pushing some examples into the $3,000, $4,400 range. In essence, what may seem like a common nickel becomes a hidden treasure when these subtle distinctions are present. Historically, the San Francisco Mint was transitioning in the 1970s from producing circulation coins to almost exclusively minting proof coins. The 1970s Jefferson Nickel was among the last years when the San Francisco Mint produced nickels for general circulation, albeit in smaller quantities compared to the Philadelphia and Denver mints. This transitional period contributes to the historical significance of the coin, as it marks the end of an era. Collectors often look to such pivotal moments in U.S. mint history when deciding which coins to add to their portfolios. Furthermore, coins like the 1970S, that represent technological and policy shifts within the U.S. Mint, carry an intrinsic appeal to history buffs and serious numismatists alike, which translates to higher market value and sustained demand. When it comes to the modern coin market, the 1970S Nickels value is driven not only by physical rarity, but also by cultural and collector awareness. Social media groups, YouTube coin reviewers, and numismatic forums often highlight this particular coin, especially those with unique features or certified high grades. Public exposure plays a significant role in raising interest and, consequently, price levels. A 1970S nickel in near-perfect condition, particularly one with full steps and no contact marks, can generate bidding wars among collectors at auctions like Heritage or Stack's Bowers. According to recent auction data, some MS66FS coins have sold between $3,500 and $4,400, setting new benchmarks for other similar coins entering the market. This price trajectory is further supported by population reports from PCGS and NGC, which reveal that only a handful of these coins exist in such high-grade condition, making them highly sought after. From a numismatic perspective, it's important to remember that the value of a Jefferson nickel often lies not just in age or metal content, but in condition, strike quality, and rarity of features. While millions of Jefferson Nickels have been minted since 1938, relatively few meet the stringent requirements that top collectors are willing to pay thousands for. The 1970S is a perfect example of how coins from a common era can transform into valuable collectibles through a combination of rarity in strike, superior preservation, and professional grading. It serves as a reminder to collectors and hobbyists to inspect even the most ordinary coins with care. What might appear as a pocket-change nickel could be a $4,400 gem in disguise. Another layer adding to the intrigue of the 1970S Jefferson Nickel is its appeal among type collectors and those assembling registry sets. In registry collecting, every fraction of a grade counts toward building the highest-ranking set, and a high-grade 1970S with full steps can be the missing piece needed to edge out competitors. This competition drives up values even further, especially when only a small number of such coins exist in the top population categories. It's also worth noting that many of these nickels have been found in original bankrolls or mint sets, which have remained unopened for decades. As more collectors open these forgotten time capsules, a new wave of near-gem or gem-quality coins has entered the market, but the window is closing fast, and values continue to climb. The beauty of the 1970S nickel lies in its paradox. It is both an ordinary piece of circulated American currency and a rare artifact of minting history. It bridges everyday usage with collectible luxury. Its textured history combined with precise design elements, minting anomalies, and preservation rarity makes it a crown jewel in the Jefferson Nickel lineup. For those lucky enough to own a pristine certified specimen, the 1970S nickel is not just a coin but a legacy. It tells the story of a mint in transition, of a design struggling with detail clarity, and of a hobby continually rediscovering the extraordinary within the ordinary. It reminds us that numismatics isn't just about the metal in your hand. It's about the stories, the rarity, the chase, and the triumph of finding something truly special. In conclusion, the 1970S Jefferson Nickel has earned its place among the upper echelon of collectible modern coins. With its attractive design, limited high-grade population, and remarkable value that can reach up to $4,400, it continues to captivate seasoned numismatists and new collectors alike. As grading technology improves and collector demand intensifies, the appreciation for this coin is bound to grow even further. Whether discovered in a forgotten mint set, a family coin jar, or an auction house catalog, the 1970S nickel stands as a testament to the hidden wealth embedded in American coinage,